Marie Curie means to me support, dignity and compassion.
Care, compassion and dignity.
Relief, assurance,
care, support,
choice and compassion.
I think for me, Marie Curie means dignity and compassion and choice.
We were very grateful when Janice walked in the door, I have to say. My wife was reasonably, although she was terminally ill, nobody would have known until maybe about a month beforehand when she was admitted to the hospital in Raigmore, which is in Inverness, 30 miles away. And I had to hike from bed and breakfast to bed and breakfast, basically trying to find accommodation. Hospitals, although they're great places, they're not very dignified, really. And there's maybe all people in the next bed and what have you, whereas if somebody can come home to their own house, it's so much better, so much better. And I don't think many families could cope without the help of Marie Curie.
I, as a Marie Curie nurse, go into the homes to give support as well as nursing care to both the patient and to the families, to the carers. We do a lot of listening to the patient as they would talk to us about things that they wouldn't perhaps want to discuss with their relatives, and then also to the relatives as they would ask us or discuss things with us, their fears, their anxieties and their expectations. We try to support them as much as we can, and we want to reassure them that we will help them in any way that we can.
One word would be exhausting. Absolutely exhausting, mentally and physically exhausting. Although you love him to bits and you would do anything, obviously the physical tiredness of not sleeping very well because obviously the stress of it, looking after distressed relatives and neighbours and friends, and then having to deal with the medical side of everything as well is absolutely exhausting. But to have someone come to your home who is honest with you and tells you everything, answers every question, that even the ones that you don't think you should ask, is actually a real relief.
A lot of families says, without Marie Curie, I couldn't possibly have coped on my own. The patients may be up a lot through the night, so they've got to get up with them. But apart from that, the emotional support that we give a lot of the times is why they manage to keep the patient at home. They just couldn't cope on their own.
It's sometimes overwhelming, what people do. The feedback you get, the job satisfaction, you think, what am I going out and it's snowing? And you think, I'm going to be out there in this time of night. But when you get there, you always know why you do it.
One of the loveliest things was while Mum was unconscious, how they spoke to her with such respect, how they told her everything that were happening when they were taking her temperature and monitoring her. They spoke to her so affectionately and with so much respect, and really did give her dignity, in those final hours.
They come by the shop, go down the shop brae, under the railway bridge, over the other bridge and left up the glen. And I had to park the car and walk along a track beside a loch in a wood to see how this old lady who was over 80 was. And when I got there, I saw her on the roof fixing her roof and I had to shout up, "How are you?"
There was one lady who used to have a bath about 3 o'clock every morning and wanted her rollers in and her hair set before her husband got up. Patients, when they have cancer, lose so much as time goes on. They very slowly lose their independence and everything around them changes. So their body image is very, very important to them, and especially for this lady who was a very proud lady. So it was a major boost for her to be able to be sitting up in the morning looking $1 million when her husband walked into the room.
To have somebody come to your house who is going through, or you feel that they know exactly what you're going through, and they know exactly what they need to be doing next and exactly what they can do to help you. And that I cannot explain what a relief that is to have somebody like that in your home.
I just feel that Marie Curie is a service which should be free to all. We're talking about terminally ill patients, but we're now expanding that into those who have other life-threatening illnesses. So it's not just terminal cancer, And I think it's important that people have choice. That is the main thing, that people have choice. There's no right or wrong as to where to die. There's not. It's not as if a hospital is wrong. It's not. It's having the choice as to go to a hospital or a hospice, or to be in your own home. And I think that is the most important thing, having the choice.
Marie Curie nurses go out into patients' homes and nurse them so that they could stay at home.
The place most people want to be.
This service is always free of charge.
Marie Curie helps people to live their lives the way they want to until they die.